At this point, I think Falling in Reverse should just cover Another One Bites the Dust, because the one and only Ronnie Radke is setting himself up to be the alt scene's Chris Hansen. That's right, you may not know this, but when Ronnie is not spending his time publicly shaming some blue-haired teenager, he likes to spend the rest of his time playing To Catch a Predator. There have been several instances now of Ronnie publicly calling out someone in the rock, metal, or emo scene for alleged PDF-philia, which I think everyone can agree is not cool. And some people out there really don't like Ronnie Radke, but I think he does deserve a hell of a lot of credit for using public platforms to publicly call out these people, while so many other artists out there just wouldn't say anything, would keep it under the rug because, oh, you don't want to ruffle any feathers, or they wouldn't want to maybe hurt their own career in some type of way. Ronnie at least will go live on Instagram and say, fuck this motherfucker, and provide receipts, in which he just did recently with the band Crossfaith. So headbang the like button, stage dive on the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. And if you're a fan of the channel, consider becoming a member. Memberships only cost 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me toward my lifelong goal of creating a life-size Godzilla to invade Canada. New up-and-coming metalcore band Crossfaith has just officially died, and Ronnie Radke killed them, and they deserved it. So it all started about a week ago when Ronnie Radke posted this on his Instagram.
Crossfaith was on my European tour with me, and then we found out that one of the members tried to meet up with a 14-year-old girl. He's 37 years old. Once we found that out, we tried to quietly kick them off and make sure they weren't on any festivals, including Grasspop. We notified the promoters, and they said they would kick them off. Grasspop not only let them play, ignored that he tried to meet up with a 14-year-old girl, let them play still. So Grasspop promoters, this one's for you. You are condoning the actions of a fucking pedophile. And you think it's okay that they can just go around to your crowds with your little kids in it and do the same thing to you guys. That's what you're letting me know.
Editing Wyatt here from the future, and while I was clipping this video together, I came across this ad from Grasspop this year that specifically focuses on Crossfaith. Not only that, it shows many shots of particularly that guy, the pedo, in the audience riding on top of people. This is after not only the band, but the festival Grasspop have been made aware of all of this by Ronnie Radke. Interesting move, Grasspop.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Literally, here's the screenshots of one of the guys from Crossfaith talking to a 14-year-old girl.
Ronnie always brings the receipt.
So young, but very mature. I'm 37 years old, but I don't think it's a problem. Then I notified the other people in the band, and this is what they said. I'm truly sorry. Of course, none of the other members knew about this, and while I know it may not be an excuse, he himself didn't seem to know that the other person was 14 years old. We understand this is a serious matter and we're committed, blah, 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 blah. He did know, I said. Actually, read what I sent. Taki showed me the DM thread and said he only found out the person was 14 at the end. He said he realized it was a serious problem and decided to stop. Bro, how did you how did a 37-year-old person not know what a 14-year-old person looks like? These people know exactly. They know. They're probably all guilty of it. The promoter of Grasspop, you should be ashamed of yourself, not only for the pedophilia, you allowing these bands to go on your festivals knowing that they're talking to 14-year-old girls, also for how bad your catering is. You get all these bands there and you literally fucking make all this money off these headlining bands and all these bands, and then you serve them shit. Disgusting food. Just adding that in there. So this is a message to everybody out there. I was going to be silent about
this band has a pedophile in it. Grasspop let them play. That's bullshit. But what's important here is their food suck. Goddamn.
It and let it go away and let the band fire the guy. They refused to fire him. So that means the kids are not protected. You need to protect these fucking teenagers. This guy needs to be kicked out of the band and probably prosecuted. For those that you need to know who this person is, this is what he looks like. This is the guy that's in the band that's talking to a 14-year-old girl and blaming it on his culture. 14 years old, almost 40 years old, guys. Let that sink.
Imagine that 37-year-old DMs your 12-year-old daughter.
This is the guy, the singer is the guy that's defending him. Also, he was following me until I told him that his guy is talking to a 14-year-old girl. Then he unfollowed me. So He's mad at me. He's mad at me because I found out his buddies are talking to kids, trying to meet up with kids on our tour on this European festival run, and all these festivals are letting them stay on the festivals. This is what we're gonna do, guys. You guys are all about protecting the kids until something like this happens, and then you guys all go quiet. You guys all go quiet because you're scared that you're gonna ruffle some feathers and piss off some managers and stuff. Fuck them. Fuck Crossfaith. You fucking pedophiles. You're lucky we didn't see you when you guys got kicked off our little mini run. I'd slap the shit out of you. How dare you defend that? I was done, but I'm not done. I just want to remind you guys, my daughter is 12 years old. 12 years old. This girl that he was trying to meet up with is 14 years old. He's almost 40 years old. Just let that sink in.
Yeah, that's not like, oh, she looked kind of young. It's usually, you can usually tell when someone's 14. You don't usually think someone is 21, even 18, and they turn out to be 14. You might be able to argue a little bit with like 16, 17-ish, but 14, So Ronnie publicly put the band on blast and the Grasspop Festival, which I think Ronnie and Falling in Reverse might have gotten banned from Grasspop because of that video. I can't confirm that, but Ronnie's like kind of hinted at it. Since this has all happened, the Crossfaith Instagram now only has 3 posts on it, all of which are regarding this situation. And I will say that their latest one has a detailed timeline of these events, and it is actually quite accurate despite heavily implicating the own members. Interesting that they themselves would post this thing that doesn't really make them look too good. I guess credit for transparency, despite being disgusting. But so it started off with, to our fans and everyone following the recent events, in light of the current situation and the speculation circulating online, we've made the difficult decision to cancel the remaining 4 shows of our European tour. At the end of the post, they put, as for the future of Crossfaith, we are currently in discussions internally. This is a serious matter that requires careful thought, and we want to make sure any decisions are made with the utmost responsibility and clarity. We will share an official update as soon as we are ready. Already, I think, taking a bit too long. There's not really a whole lot to try to figure out. The band then followed that up with, it is with great regret that we must inform you of the following matter. It was recently confirmed that our guitarist, Dickhead, engaged in inappropriate communication with an underage fan. Recognizing the gravity of this misconduct, we have decided to dismiss him from the band effective immediately. Not when Ronnie had told them about it, by the way, later. We deeply apologize to the victim, our fans, and all concerned parties for the distress this incident has caused. We take this matter very seriously. And then the band followed that up with the announcement that they are officially disbanding. We hereby express our deepest apologies to the minor who was subjected to inappropriate communication via direct messages from our former member Dickhead, as well as to her family. Furthermore, we offer our profound apologies for the considerable concern and inconvenience caused to all those involved and to our supporters due to the delay in our response. We deeply regret that this has resulted in confusion and a loss of trust. Because if you haven't been paying attention, the band went from trying to defend him in DMs with Ronnie to not mentioning it until Ronnie made it public, to having discussions, to kicking him out, to then breaking up. I assume that this post with a very detailed outline came because so many of their fans or former fans had seen Ronnie's post where he'd laid out everything already. Kind of hard to deny and push under the rug. But the band says, in view of the extreme gravity and seriousness of this situation, Crossfaith has made the decision to suspend all activities for the foreseeable future. Accordingly, all scheduled performances will be canceled. Dun, dun, dun. So, Ronnie Radke officially killed this band. There you go. Ha! Here is the detailed timeline of how these events unfolded. From what I've seen compared to Ronnie's post, this does seem pretty accurate. June 18th, Dickhead responded to an Instagram DM from a 14-year-old girl on Instagram and continued the conversation. The mother of the 14-year-old girl became aware of the DM and contacted Ronnie Radke via Instagram DM, because at the time, Crossfaith were supposed to go on a short tour opening for Falling in Reverse. June 19th, Ronnie Radke sent an Instagram DM to Kente Koi. At the same time, Crossfaith was informed that Falling in Reverse would refuse Crossfaith's participation in their upcoming shows and requested immediate action regarding this matter. Which, by the way, it is kind of fucking hilarious that this band Crossfaith were fans of Ronnie Radke and Falling in Reverse, were really excited for the big opportunity to go on tour with them, and ended their entire band because they had a dickhead pedo in the band. Swing and a miss! Koei responded by defending Dickhead, which is surprising that they admitted, and they even show the proof of. The band did not fully recognize the seriousness of Dickhead's actions at this stage and did not proceed with immediate dismissal. That is the one thing on this list I'm gonna call bullshit on. I think it is more likely that at least some of them were plenty aware of this man's habits, especially with the trying to defend him at all and not immediately shit-canning him from the band. June 20th, Crossfaith performed a headline show in Switzerland with Dickhead. June 22nd, Crossfaith performed at another festival in Belgium with Dickhead. So as you can see, the band were still performing like nothing had happened. And then June 25th, Ronnie Radke, noting that no action had been taken by Crossfaith, released a video exposing the matter that we just watched. The video included portions of the DMs between Dickhead and the 14-year-old, as well as between Kenta Koei and Ronnie Radke. June 27th, Crossfaith announced the cancellation of remaining 4 shows, in addition to Falling in Reverse shows, and issued a statement that the band was investigating and discussing the allegations internally. Ronnie Radke publicly released the full DM exchange between Dickhead and the 14-year-old girl. So if you noticed here, it was June 19th that Ronnie Radke made the band aware of the pedo. It wasn't until almost an entire week goes by where nothing happens. No posts from the band still plays shows. It is only 2 days after Ronnie Radke publicly exposes them, a week after he'd already told them about it, that they announced that they are looking into the allegations. Were they not looking into the allegations starting on the 19th when they were informed of it? They didn't seem to be looking into the allegations when they performed those 2 festival shows, were they? And isn't it also interesting that on the 27th, they issued a statement that they would be investigating it until later when Ronnie released the entire DM exchange between the dude and the 14-year-old girl, and then the next day they kicked him out. I'm sure they were taking this very seriously and weren't thinking about their personal stakes at all. And then they posted the screenshot of the mom of the person who, this is what she sent to Ronnie Radke. Hey Ronnie, this was written by a member of the band Crossfaith to my 14-year-old daughter. He is 37 and my daughter is 14. That is a criminal offense. I hope that she also notified the police and not just Ronnie Radke, but I mean, good on her for at least for that. So this is Ronnie Radke's exchange with the band. Ronnie sent them what the mother sent him and said, hey man, we cannot have this on our tour. I'm sorry, but you can't play with us because of this. I'm not going to go public with it out of respect for the child and family. I hope that you can resolve this amongst yourselves privately. Ronnie was saying in the video that he was giving him the chance to fire the dude. Maybe they genuinely didn't know, find out about it, say go fuck yourself, and see what happened. But the singer of Crossfaith responded with, I'm truly sorry. Of course, none of the other members knew about this, and while I know it may not be an excuse, he himself didn't seem to know the other person was 14 years old. We understand this is a serious matter and we're committed to addressing it properly within our band and team. Over a week later after you publicly shame us for it. That's when we'll address it. It honestly breaks my heart. This was such an incredible opportunity, and I'm really disappointed in how things have turned out. Ronnie, not playing that shit, said he did know. Actually read what I sent. The vocalist had said, Dickhead showed me the DM thread and said he only found out the person was 14 at the end. Bullshit. He said he realized it was a serious problem and decided to stop replying immediately. Ronnie said, bro, come on. He knew. How do you not know 37 years old? You are talking to a 14-year-old. Keeping him in your band is unacceptable. He's a predator. This man's excuse, the singer for the band Crossfaith, not the one who was caught being a pedo, but this is probably the reason why they cut the whole band. He replied, I mean, he says that, but honestly, for us Japanese, it's really hard to judge the age of people in Europe just by appearance. What? It's kind of like how it's hard for Westerners to guess the age of Asians based on how they look, right? No. I don't think that's a problem us Western whites have. I've never seen an Asian girl out in public and been like, I really can't tell if she's 14 or 40. On top of that, he's not good at English at all, so I don't think he could judge the person's age from how they spoke either. He was using a translation app just to put his messages together. That said, there's probably no point in discussing this further, and I understand your decision isn't likely to change. Yeah, because now you are literally going out of your way to defend someone caught being a pedophile, dude. Ronnie responded with, I have never had this issue in my life with not knowing how old someone is in any part of the world because I'm not retarded. I added that part. And because I personally will use my intuition and assume a girl is too young if they look young, being that I'm 41 and 18 is too young. So a 14-year-old girl is definitely too young. There's no excuse for this behavior, and everyone is disgusted by his actions, and also you defending him makes you just as guilty. Yeah, that long-ass defense right there makes me a little skeptical that you were seriously investigating this matter right when it became aware to you, and not when it was made public. The dude said, totally understand and respect your decision, really. I don't think you do. I don't think that you do. And thanks for chatting to me directly. Means a lot. We will be having a long chat between us today. Wish you the best with the rest of tour. So sorry this has happened and tarnished our relationship, Ronnie. And it only got worse when you failed to address it in any way. This next post is the conversation between Dickhead and the 14-year-old girl. It started off with the girl DMing him saying, hey. He says, yo. She says, the show yesterday of you was mega. He says, thank you. Was it your first time seeing us? She says, yes, yesterday was the first time I saw you live. Thought the show was great. He replies, that makes me so happy. We'll be back next year. She replies, I'll be there again next year to hear you live again. He replies, hell yeah. She responds, I'm already looking forward to your show next year. He responds, hell yes, with a heart and a fire emoji. She responds with fire emojis. He responds with, you are beautiful. Heart eyes. She says, thank you. You're pretty too. I only paid attention to you at your show yesterday. I'm very happy about that. Sure, next year I'll be there again. I hope I'll be at the front again so I can see you well. With little heart eyes. He responds, next year, come stand right in front of me. With heart emoji. She responds, yes, heart emoji. He responds, when that time comes, I want to see you. She says, of course. He says, can't wait. With a suggestive emoji. She replies, me too. What's your name? Blank. And yours? My name is Dick. That's a nice name. You too. Let's get to the smoking gun of this disgusting display. The girl, seemingly picking up that he's being a little weird, messages him saying, just wanted to tell you that I'm only 14. Would like to be older. Is that a big problem for you because of my age? I understand if it is a problem for you. To which he then responded, you're so young, but very mature. I'm 37 years old, but I don't think it's a problem, with a whole bunch of exclamation marks. To which he then said, I'm jealous of your age. We don't know if the conversation continued at all after that or not. I'm not sure if the girl's mother happened to see that and sent it to Ronnie, or if the girl showed her mom because she was getting creeped out, because I kind of was picking that up in their conversation. Following that post, the singer of the now former band, who was going out of his way to defend the dude after seeing those messages, said, I would like to take this opportunity to express my deepest apologies to the minor who was harmed by the inappropriate conduct of our former member Dickhead, as well as to her family. I also sincerely regret that my own remarks caused so many people to lose trust in me. I am truly sorry. Would you have sincerely regretted your remarks if Ronnie Radke had not made them public? He says, when I first received information from Ronnie, I could not believe that Dickhead, a friend of many years, could have done such a thing. Driven by emotion and a sense of needing to protect the band, I ended up making statements in his defense, even after reviewing the actual DM exchange. That's this fucking smoking gun right there, dude. You could have tried to got away with like, no, he's a good dude. He would never do that. I've known him forever. But when you admit that you read the exchange where he says, you're so young, I don't think that's a problem. And then you try to defend his actions. And then didn't say anything about it until you got publicly blasted for it. I failed to fully grasp the gravity of Dickhead's actions, and as a result, did not make the decision to dismiss him immediately. In fact, we played 2 shows with him. I now recognize that this was a serious error in judgment, and I am deeply reflecting on my own actions. From here on, I will do my utmost to regain trust through my conduct and my words. This is why they cut the whole band. This is why they didn't just kick the dude out, because they were not going to address this at all until Ronnie publicly called them out on it. And if they they were, well, they waited too long. Too fucking bad. It's not really a hard decision when something like this comes up. There might be the initial, oh shit, I didn't know about that. That fucking sucks, which is followed up by, you're out of the band and going to jail. There's not really like, oh, we got to think about it. Let's talk internally and see what we should do. Looks like some people in their comments are still trying to defend the band. That's nice. That's the funny thing with this whole situation is that Ronnie fully exposed this band and the band admitted to it. And you're still going to get people who are commenting on this video of mine, I bet, who are trying to defend the band and they're going to shit on Ronnie and say he's a terrible person. So yeah, that is the whole reason why you won't be hearing from Crossfaith anymore. Personally, I do not believe them when they were saying that they had to take time to look into it and everything with that whole timeline. I think that they either already knew or when they found out, we're not going to publicly address it until they got called out. And I think that it's a good thing that Ronnie did that. And I think that's something that should happen in the music world, honestly. It's an industry overpolluted with predators. People talk about all the time how there needs to be safe spaces and need to protect women. But then most people in the industry will just be afraid to talk about these things for the repercussions. So at least there's a hothead out there like Ronnie Radke who does not give a shit and will tell these pedos to go fuck themselves. What this situation really highlights for me and what it made me become aware of is that we really need to bring back To Catch a Predator and cast Ronnie Radke in it. How fucking funny would it be to have some fat idiot walking in with a pizza box to meet a 12-year-old? You hear footsteps in the hallway and Ronnie rocks out like, so what are you doing here? I would watch that show. Would you guys watch To Catch a Predator starring Ronnie Radke? Let me know in the comments below. For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find us on Instagram, on Spotify, on all of the streaming platforms, on Bandcamp as well. We have our EP Rabid Psychosis out now. This October we are playing with Carnivore AD at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood, October 16th. Tickets are $25, so hit me or the band up if you'd like one. We've got Wyatt's Metal and Dark Insanity merch available now in my shop. We've also got hoodies, hats, buttons, stickers. We even have Dark Insanity weed bags. Link is in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now and I'll see you in the next video.